Hello and welcome to ATP Report. I'm Barry Nussbaum. We have Will Johnson with us today, the terrific inventor of Unite America First. He's the editor and publisher. He is somebody that you want to follow. He's all over Facebook and social media with conservative commentary that we approve of. And he's also one of our favorites here at ATP. Welcome back, Will.
Hey, glad to be here, Barry.
Let's talk about some articles, as I was mentioning to you as we were coming on air, that I pulled from Unite America First, your website. Some really good stuff and controversial subjects, all of them. Let's start with Alabama. There's a Republican governor in Alabama. She's a conservative. Her name is Kay Ivey. And she gave a response to Maxine Waters, the California socialist communist congresswoman who is a wackadoodle, as everybody knows. And Ivey is running for re-election in Alabama. She's very popular there. And she put out a campaign ad that if Joe Biden keeps sending tens of thousands of illegal Mexican immigrants into Alabama, that people in Alabama better learn Spanish quickly. And her message was, "No way, Jose," obviously a play on words that Joe in Spanish is Jose. Now, it's funny and cute, but it has a serious message, obviously, Will. And Maxine Waters' response was, "This is plain racist ignorance." And that kind of ignorance has no place in America. Now, keep in mind, Alabama is not asking for those people that they have to support. And I don't know why speaking Spanish is racist, since everybody coming across the border, that's their only language. But to Maxine Waters, it's racist. Who's right, the congresswoman or the governor, Will?
The governor, 100%. Barry, I don't know about you. You're maybe just maybe a year older than me. But I remember when I was younger, I used to say "no way, Jose" all the time. It was never racist. It was not a racist term. It's not a racist term today. I mean, I have friends that are Latino and Hispanic, and we say "no way, Jose." They never saw it as racist. And why does Maxine Waters get to decide what is racist and what's not racist, right? Why don't you ask someone who is Hispanic, do you consider this to be racist? You notice that I've yet to see any Hispanic come forward and say, that's racist. You can't say "no way, Jose." It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's part of the vernacular, as you say. And I grew up with the same comment, in San Diego, where a large portion of the population is of Hispanic lineage. Everybody said "no way, Jose," including my Hispanic friends. It's just a slang.
We did it because it rhymed.
And it means no.
Yes, "no way, Jose." It rhymed.
Well,
that's all.
Okay, I guess you, the black guy, you're a racist, and me, the Jew, I'm a racist too, because we use those words.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of immigrants, there's a guy named Luis Angel Hernandez. He's a member of the OTF gang. And he shot and killed a delivery guy coming to his house who was, get this, delivering pot. Shot him a bunch of times, and the LA district attorney let him out. Now, this criminal, Mr. Hernandez, said he was so happy to be let out that he's going to tattoo DA Gascon's name on his face, because the DA is letting him out after committing crimes that, with all the enhancements, being a gang member, using a gun in the commission of a crime, an armed robbery, all the enhancements that give you extra time, Gascon is not enforcing the law. So this gang member is saying, this is the quotes, "This shit is looking real good. Now we have a new DA in LA, so they're going to drop a gang of like my gun enhancement charges, my gang enforcement charges, my concealed weapon charges. And I could have gone to jail for 30 or 40 years. Gascon waived all of it." Why is he still in office, Will?
I don't, the one thing I haven't looked up, is he a Democrat or is he a Republican?
Democrat.
Yeah. I mean, we already know the obvious answer to that without me even having to look it up. Well, the Democrats, they like criminals. They like the chaos. All the chaos and all of the corruption that we're seeing, that's been generated, 90% of it, by the left, by the Democrats. And they want to allow more criminals out onto the street so they can create more havoc for the people in their communities. Gavin Newsom released during COVID, Gavin Newsom released multiple criminals out into the streets and then got upset when the police department wasn't stopping the crime. Like, what?
I know. You couldn't explain it to a 6-year-old, but it's policy in California. Now, speaking of craziness, I know you and I talk about this a lot, but I keep bringing it up because it's just everywhere. Now in St. Louis, Missouri, they are protesting a Texas law that you can't give children, little kids, puberty blockers, meaning you can't convert a boy to a girl or a girl to a boy at 5 or 6 years of age because, well, it's just disgusting and should be illegal. So in St. Louis, they're really upset. How do I know? Well, on Transgender Day a couple of weeks ago, a school held an event that was described as, quote, adolescence is a tender time full of profound self-discovery. Coming into your own is complicated enough. So what did they do? They supported transgenders. How did they do it? Well, they had a transgender child who self-identifies as a girl, but is, well, I'm sorry, who identified as a girl originally and now self-identifies as a boy. She changed her name to Miles, and now she's encouraging other kids to go, well, to the other team permanently. How can we stop this nutty stuff in the schools, Will?
You know, I don't know if we can actually stop it because the teachers that are hearing about that they should stop, they're still doing it. They're sneaking it in. For example, in the state of Florida, the teachers, because of Ron DeSantis, the teacher said, I don't care what law he puts in place, I'm going to protect the children. I'm going to tell the children who they really are. No, you're not. So I don't know that we can stop it, but maybe we can deter it by putting in laws saying, hey, if you're going to be prey onto these children and you're going to tell these children to be something that they're actually not, you should go to jail. You know, Barry, before when teachers did this type of crap, they would go to jail. When a grown man would have lipstick on and a tutu, show up at the playground and saying, hey, kitty, come play with me, they would put him in jail. Today, they're trying to put these sick people on pedestals. It's ridiculous.
I couldn't agree with you more. Speaking of ridiculous, there was a charter flight from the United States to the Ukraine. A whole bunch of Christians got on a plane to go save the Ukrainians from being wiped out by the Russians. And on this plane, they started singing songs, Christian songs. Guess who got really upset? Ilhan Omar. And she said in response, I think my family, which are Muslims, should have a prayer session next time I'm on a plane. How do you think it will end? In other words, this private plane with private citizens singing Christmas songs during Holy Week, apparently, offended her, right? Now, everybody got upset that you ought to be able to do something like that. I mean, I know people that pray on takeoff and landing because they didn't die and they don't mind. Thank you, God. I lived through another flight. But when you're Christian and you do that, you better do it out of earshot of Ilhan Omar. Now, before I ask your opinion, I want to give you a hint.
Okay.
This video has been seen 25 million times by Christians and Jews supporting the rights of Christians to pray openly on a plane at 40,000 feet going into a war zone where it's very likely a lot of those people on that plane will die. How would you see Omar's anti-Christian outburst?
Ridiculous. And actually, when I first saw it, I had to go to her Twitter feed where she put it. And I retweeted with these comments. I said, your tribe has already did prayer sessions on a plane. Remember 9/11?
Wow.
And I was like, I was just, you know what? I was waiting for Twitter. Okay, you know what? Twitter's probably going to get me after this one. But they're shadow banning me so much on Twitter. I can say whatever I want. I can be as violent as I want. But that's exactly what it is. You know, they don't want to, she doesn't want to acknowledge that. And then after I did that, I saw multiple people starting to say the same thing. What if 9/11? Oh, wait a minute. Some people did some things on 9/11, right? That's what we have to say there. This is the stupidity of the left. They want to ignore what Ilhan Omar just said. Completely disgraced. We are a nation to where you can openly, we should be able to openly worship any God you want to. That's the nation that we are. And that's part of the reason why the United States of America is one of the greatest nations in the world, because they allow you to be you. But they've just taken it a little bit too far.
Yeah, the last time I went to Israel, at certain times like sunset and sunrise, the Orthodox Jews, they get up and they start praying. And they're praying to God for a safe trip into Israel and for the safety of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody on the plane, fully supportive. I mean,
no issues.
I didn't have an issue with it. God bless them. And they want to pray to whomever they want to. They ought to be able to. And they're not racists, and they're not bigots, and they're not white supremacists, and they're not Nazis. They're just people that believe in God. And for me, that's okay.
Yeah, you know, one comment I saw on the Twitter feed was that a pilot, a female, not a pilot, it was a stewardess. A female stewardess said, had I been on that plane, I would have stopped it immediately. Total leftist. And, you know, isn't it something that is all of those that want to prevent that are on the left? Why is that, right? Why is that? Everyone, now people on the right, they were like, you know what, they should have the freedom to do it. But people on the left, oh no, you're going to hurt my feelings. No,
there's a key
stupid
word here. There's a key word here from the Constitution and the interpretation of especially the Bill of Rights, the First Amendment. It's not freedom from religion. It's freedom of religion, meaning you can worship frogs or deer or the sun god or what, Mother Earth
or Fauci
or Jesus or whomever, and it's okay. It's freedom of religion,
right?
Meaning the state can't tell you how to pray to your God, whoever it is.
Yeah.
We don't have freedom from religion, meaning we are an atheist society. We just can't be told how to pray and who to pray to, unless Ilhan Omar is making the rules. And in which case,
exactly,
I'm pretty sure you're Christian and you would be illegal on her flight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, how can people find out about you and follow your great work?
Simply go to uniteamericafirst.com and you can find out everything about me there.
And I encourage all of our listeners in ATP land around the world, do that. Will's a really smart guy. He's got a great site with a lot of good content. And I encourage you to follow, support, and learn from him. And remember, for all of you out there that haven't subscribed yet, it's very easy. You can just type into your browser, findbarry.com. It'll take you to our website. You can sign up for free. We never charge for content. For ATP Report, thank you for joining us today. I'm Barry Nussbaum.